Okay. So in the last call, we talked about OWD, right? And what are the two secure options we have? The private option and public read only. When we set OWD to public read write, we virtually are telling the system there is no need for any security. So only private and public read only are the areas which is securing our records. And securing our records from whom? Securing the records of owners from non-owners. Yeah. So now, when OWD is set to private or read only, how to bypass the bypass OWD? We discussed in last call. Anybody remembers?
You're sharing settings like
No sharing set. We did not talk about sharing settings last.
Permission sets.
Permission sets and permission sets. What we will do in permission sets?
We'll give the extra setting to the particular users.
Yeah. What would be the extra setting?
Uh,
read, write, update, delete.
That is already given for the object. For object, you have to have CRUD permission, but that permission is for owners. How do I make sure that non-owners can bypass OWD? There is a view all permission, right? We talked about.
yes, sir.
View all and modify.
Modify all. Yeah, correct. Absolutely. So if you give view all and modify all, then you can see records which you do not own. And these view all and modify all permissions can be given to permission sets or profiles. Right? So this is one way of bypassing OWD. Now the problem is, if you give view all or modify all permission on a profile or permission set, then you can see everybody's record on that object. Every record is available to you. Right? There is no conditional logic. Then every the person with view all or modify all can see everybody's record on that object. But usually the situation is not required like that. Even if the OWD is set to private, you want to show some people some records. So when you have some people, then of course you can use private, public and view all or modify all permissions on profile and permission. Some people all records. When some people all records are considered, then permission profile or permission set view all modify all can come. But what happens if I have the requirement of some people and some records? Then this permission won't work. Then we have to do conditional sharing. What are different ways of sharing in Salesforce? Let's talk about that one by one. View all or modifiable will not be considered as sharing. Okay, it's just bypassing order. There is extra permission. So what is the different ways of sharing? One sharing is manual sharing. Individual owners can share their records to other individuals, other users. Okay, only owners can do this. This is manual sharing. Another sophisticated way of doing it is using teams. Teams is available only on standard few objects like account, case, opportunity. These objects will have teams. If you add some people into the teams, those people will be able to see or edit records based on what permissions you give. So both manual sharing and team sharing are done by owners. Team sharing can be also automated, but yeah, mainly owners who will be adding it manually. And this is both are manual processes, right? You add a person on that record, that is manual sharing. If you add a person on Teams, again the same process. So two different mechanisms I am seeing: manual sharing and Teams sharing. Apart from that, what else? So these are manual process of sharing. Now let's talk about automated sharing. One is role hierarchy. So Salesforce has a concept of role. Role can be one only on a user. Role is optional. You may or may not give a role. If you are trying to create a role in your org, then role has to be created in hierarchy. Role 1, role 2, role 3, role 4, role 5. Yeah. So what happens is that for standard objects, automatically a person with higher role will see the person's record of lower role for standard objects. For custom objects, you can choose not to use it or to use this. Okay, that means all records where the owner has the role of R4 will be available to be seen by R2 and R1. Similarly, R5 records owned by people with R5 role, people having the role of R2 can see their records, R1 can see their records. R1 can see the records of R2 and R3. Here, one thing is very important. People with the same role cannot see each other's records. It is very vital to understand it. They can see the records owned by people with a lesser role or subordinate role, but they cannot see records of people having the same role. Okay. Here it is very important. Role hierarchy does not consider profile or permission set at all. It does not matter at all. Whether two people have the same profile or same permission set, it does not matter. Whatever profile they have, whatever things they have, role hierarchy based sharing does not consider profile or permission set at all. What is their profile or what is their permission don't matter. Clear? So people with full ownership of this record, the manager will also be able to see that record. Okay, that is role hierarchy. Automated sharing. This Salesforce automatically does. If there is a role hierarchy and the owner has a role, then their manager will be automatically seeing it. The fourth is sharing rules. So vertical sharing is done. Vertical sharing is done by role hierarchy, right? Role 1, role 2, role 3, role 4. So we saw this vertical sharing, right? This one going up. But what if I want to share this record to these people, these records to these people, this record to these people? So across the tree, if I want to do a sharing, that can be done using sharing rules. So sharing rules are many times used using roles. Sharing rules can share records owned by roles or public group, and it can share to a different role or public group. Sharing role can be of two types: ownership based sharing, other is criteria based sharing. What is ownership based? People with these roles, people with this group, that is ownership based. What is criteria based? All accounts which has address as USA. Yeah, then there is a data or a column value on which you are trying to do a sharing. If that is the case, then criteria based sharing comes in picture. But if you are basically sharing role or public group, then ownership based sharing rule applies. Please note, sharing rule cannot share to an individual person. It cannot pick up data for individual person and cannot share to individual people. it will always consider a role or public group. So please, if you are sharing one person's data to another person, you have to create a public group or a role for that person, and then create sharing group. For mechanisms. Apart from that, there is a little complicated Apex managed sharing. Apex managed sharing can be done writing Apex code. Apex code you will write in Apex trigger. And it can also be done nowadays using flows with process builders. Using flow and process builder, you can also do Apex managed sharing. And if you write Apex trigger, that will also work. How this is done, this is, and where will you use that, we'll come to that next. So Apex managed sharing is basically using a backend feature of Salesforce, which is automatically used by Salesforce for automated systems. So for manual sharing, then team sharing and sharing rule, Salesforce is using a table called share. Every object will have a shared table. If OWD is set to public read only or private. If the OWD is set to public read write, in that case, the share object will not be available. So whenever you turn your OWD to secure, that is either public or public read only, then you are securing your record. So whenever you are securing the record, every object wherein you have put OWD as private or public read only, a automatic new table creates, which is basically appends with share. So account will have an account share, contact will have a contact share, and custom objects will have like employee _ share instead of an _ she. So the share object is the basis of Salesforce is automatically managing manual sharing, team sharing, and sharing rule using the share object. So what happens is that the share object is opened up for you. So you can add a new row in the share object, and you can also share the records. What does a share object have? Share object is a table wherein we have a parent ID. Parent ID means which record you want to share. That ID you will store here. Whom do you want to share? That can be people, there can be public groups, whatever. And then you also say the reason of sharing. Reason why this reason is important. Reason bifurcates this row from any other automated row of Salesforce. So if there is an automated sharing, as I said, the same table used by Salesforce also automatically. So if there is a sharing rule, it will show a rule. If it is a team, then it will show team. So in order to make sure that your record is untouched by Salesforce, you have to create a new rule and you have to put your value. So maybe I have created a new rule called rule 1. So I will put a reason called rule 1 and I will put my record so that Salesforce does not touch my records. Other records will be automatically managed by Salesforce. So I don't want these records to be touched by Salesforce. That's why I'm marking them. For that, I need a new sharing reason. Okay. So what you can do is that if you insert a record here, then automatically that would be shared. That record would be shared to that users. So this logic you have to write a insertion to this table is required. Why this is using Apex managed sharing. So this is a code or a programmatic way of sharing. Okay. There are some advanced sharing also available. I will just mention them, but I will not talk about them in this session. But it is important for you to know, but you will rarely use it. So that's why I will just mention. One is territory management. This is also a way of sharing records. I will not get into details, just know the name. Apart from that, you will also get, you can create any pages without sharing. If you create any, write a code or page and you put without sharing, then you can show records which is not owned by that person. Okay. So these are two advanced topics which we are not going to discuss today. So let's talk about the first 5. And before that, we will also discuss where will I use these. and when to select what, right? So many options we have seen of sharing. So let's discuss that. First is manual, then is team, then is role hierarchy, then is sharing rule, and last one is Apex managed sharing. When to use what? If it's an individual record, one-off case, then you can use a manual sharing. Just for that record, you want to put some, you are just sending to another person, or you want to show somebody else. Manual sharing is an option. It's the quickest way of doing it. If you are regularly sharing with many people again and again, then team sharing is a better option. But please remember, team sharing is only available for the standard 3 objects, right? If you are using any other owners has to share to anybody, then for any other objects, then you have to use manual sharing. Team sharing is a better way of sharing, so that you can see whom you have shared and what permissions you have given. So for objects which has teams, try to use teams. Object which does not have teams, they can use manual sharing. Okay. Now, if you want to do automatic sharing, first you have to check whether I can do that using role hierarchy or not. Role hierarchy is the smartest way of doing a sharing. Okay. So role hierarchy is the first option. If in role hierarchy you cannot manage it via role hierarchy, then only you go to sharing rule. Try to minimize sharing rule as much as possible. Okay. Vertical sharing is your first option. If you're not able to get the vertical sharing done, then only think about horizontal sharing, that is sharing rule. And try to keep sharing rule as minimal as possible. So for automatic sharing, your first choice should be role hierarchy. When you know which person's record I need to say like share to which person, then these two options are available to you. And you have to use either of these. Yeah. But if you do not know whom to share, what can be a situation where you do not know whom to share? Because that might be available only in runtime, or specifically when a situation occurs. Before that, there can be no way of knowing whom to share. If that is a situation, then you have to use Apex managed sharing. So dynamic sharing if required, then only you will use Apex managed sharing, otherwise not. Apex managed sharing is the last option, and only for dynamic situation. Dynamic situation means when you do not know whom I will have to share this record. What can be a situation where I don't know? Let's see a situation. In account object, I have created a user lookup. Okay. That user lookup field is called account coordinator. Now my requirement is owner can only see my records because OWD is set to private. I'm sorry about it. My iPad went dead. Okay, I will share here. So I have an account record, account object, right? Here I have created a lookup field. It's called account coordinator. And what I want to know was that this is a user lookup field, and I can select any user here, right? Whenever the owner is putting anybody in this field, that person should start seeing that account. So if the owner is Animesh Banerjee and the coordinator is Rakesh, by default, the owner is the only person who is working on that account and can see that account, right? Because OWD is set to private. But my requirement is whoever I choose in my account coordinator field, that person should start seeing my records. Here, I cannot create a sharing rule because I do not know whom to share. Maybe Akash can select Prithvi. Some other user owner can select another person, right? So on runtime only, I know which user to share record. Before that, I do not know, and it can change anytime. There is no fixed person whom I will be sharing it. So this is not a static sharing. Static sharing only work with sharing rules or role hierarchy, where you know that we have to share the records owned by these people to these people. But here we do not know whom to share till it is actually selected by the owner. So this is a dynamic sharing situation. In that case, there is no other way out but to use a Apex managed sharing. That code either you have to write in a trigger or on a before flow, or sorry, after flow, and so on. Okay. So this is a dynamic situation wherein you do not know whom to share the record. And actually in the runtime, it is decided by the owner. So, but you want to automatically do this. So here Apex managed sharing will come into picture. Sharing rule or role hierarchy is automatic way of sharing, but here you know whom to share, whose record to share to whom. But when you do not know whose record to share to whom, then you have to use Apex managed sharing. All the 5 conditions we have discussed. So now we will move to seeing all these. So here, basically important part, before we start seeing all the sharing mechanisms, 2 things are very critical. When you go to users, here you see the role is there. This role, there are already some defined roles in this org, but you can create new roles. So roles is not is optional, right? But here role is very important. Before moving into other sharings, let's talk about roles. So roles can be different, right? When you set up roles, you see there are many ways in which I can set up. So under CEO, CFO, CXO will have in HRVP. Under the customer service, I have international North America report pairs. I can break it down. I can add a new role here. Sales executive or support executive India, right? And then I can assign the users to this role also. Yeah. So if you go back to that, so you see support executive India I have created. So I can create a role under this hierarchy. So then I can edit, delete, and assign users to all these roles. Or I can go to that user also. You can choose any of these roles. So this will be available in that drop down. Yeah, same way. You can assign it from here or you can assign it from there. Either way. And there is a concept called public group. Yeah, which is a random group created with multiple users. So you can, a public group can consist of other public groups, or it can be like new PG, and I can choose any roles here, group of roles, or I can choose individual users also. You see, I can choose this person, individuals. So based on that, you can create a public group, which can be a combination of other public groups, roles, or users. It's a group of users, that is it. So public group can, or roles can be utilized for automatic sharing. We'll see how that works. So public group can be random. It does not need a method to madness. It can be any set of users if you want to add to a group whom you want to share or whose record you want to share. Both it can be used for both finding out whose record to share and whom to share. So that is the benefit. So let's go one by one. Let's first see the manual options of sharing. So if I go to accounts, I don't know what is the OWD for account right now. Let me check first. Yeah, there is a sharing. This sharing is the manual sharing button. This option will only be available to you when you have OWD set to private or public read only. Otherwise, it will not come. So what this, you can find any user here, and then you can give a different rule. This sharing accesses, you can make it read only or read write, same as that. So account, when you give account permission, then you can also give case and opportunity permission. But for individual custom objects, you don't need to give other permissions. Just that object permissions is fine. So let's share read only permission. Yeah. So and create record share data for integration. We'll see. Anyway, so this is basically a manual way of sharing records. Another way of sharing records is basically team sharing. So how does that work? So if I go and check the sharing, does it create that sharing? No, it did not create the sharing. Anyway, so I'm sorry about the noise. Let's do the sharing from scratch in a new org, because I think a lot of things has been done on here. I'm not getting a clear background option. So let's go back to my account. Sharing setting. So this is the OWD we discussed here, and we'll make it private. Case and other things also become private when account become private. And then what happens is that if you go to the account record, we are discussing opening the layout. The sharing button is already there. So what happens is that if you go to any account record, the sharing button here gives you see if I have. here record was created. Now, so benefit is that if I go and create sharing, so see, I have two records here. One is the normal users, that is the owner. Owner's sharing is already getting showed. And that is the integration users, which manually I shared. Yeah, is account access. You see, all means the owner. How will that also, if you go to Workbench, and you do a query on account share. You see, already I am seeing which account is this? I'll take the account ID from here. Not account ID. This will be account ID. That's right. So you see two records. This is exactly these two records which we are seeing in this sharing. So one is basically the owner, and the second is the person with whom I did a manual sharing. Who is the owner? You see, I am the owner here, and exactly that is what you're seeing here. So one is the owner row cause, and that is manual sharing, which I have done, right? The same, we will keep a track on this object. Now, in opportunity, in accounts, since it's custom object, account also has a feature called team sharing. Let's see that. Here, this is the account team. Here you have to enable the team sharing. By default, it's not enabled. So enable team sharing. Whenever you enable, it is also asking you whether this is a related list. Should I add it to all the accounts or not? So you can choose to add to all accounts or not. You can create some roles. By default, there are some roles already given, but you can create your own roles also. Roles is basically identifying why are you giving that person the permission, right? It is additional information, which in manual sharing, you are not able to give a role, right? But in name team, you can assign a role. So let's talk about the same record here. Now I will go and do a refresh. In created list, I can see account team is now available. Here I can add a team members. So I can say that integration user. Here I will give a role like account manager, and I will give maybe read write permission. Save it. So what happens now if you go to Workbench and query this once again? See, Salesforce is automatically creating these records. So one is owner, one person was like manual sharing was done, and another record already got created here. The row cause is now team. Yeah. Similarly, you can programmatically add a new row if you want. So you can put a button, you can have Apex triggers to put or flows to insert a record. If your row cause is your own, like you can put any row cause. You say that account coordinator field, yeah, that is the row cause for you. In that case, Salesforce is not automatically touch these your records, but these others is completely governed and managed by Salesforce. So Salesforce is automatically creating these records. It will also take out these records. If I change this owner, right, to something else, like then basically this owner field will be updated by Salesforce automatically here in this table. So these are like managed by Salesforce. So we saw manual sharing that is done by owners. We saw team sharing that is also done by owners. Now we'll see the automatic sharing part, which is done by admins, right? Automatic sharing, as I said, would be done by sharing rule. First, we'll see role hierarchy, how that works. So we have created roles. Now in sharing setting, if you are going to standard objects, you see every object will have a rule. The sharing rules are called. So which object are we working on? Account, right? So we can create a new rule. We can say that this public group, this is a what kind of sharing? I said two types of sharing rules are there. One is a ownership based sharing, another is criteria based sharing. So what we can do is that we can select a public group which we already created, like and share it with another public group. So maybe all internal users, all the people with public group as internal users. Let's see what is the public group. Let's create a public group here. Public group can consist of other public groups, we said, or roles, right? So let's select roles. So now go back. Let's go back to sharing rules. Here I will now create the account rule. Now you see that here public group will show this public group, new public group. So people belonging to this public group or records, account records owned by these people will be shared to these people. Like all public group can, or you can have a different public group here. Okay, so it will is like account sharing, or you can make it and you can give the permission, whatever you read only it will be, or a read write, whatever sharing you want to give it. So based on criteria, if you see, then you have to create a field. So you can say that if the billing country field is equals to US, then only you share to this public group. This is a criteria based sharing. This was ownership based sharing when you select which records are owned by which people you want to share. And if you it's a criteria based sharing, that is also possible. So sharing rules can be of two types. Yeah. Here, this is another way of sharing, automatic sharing. And in this sharing settings, same way, if we go to, you see here is a checkbox called grant access using hierarchies. By default, if you see this and do an edit, for standard objects, you cannot uncheck this. For any custom objects, you can check or uncheck this. If you choose to check this, which is by default done, then the record sharing will happen via the role hierarchy. People with the lesser role their records will be shown to people with the higher role. Okay. So now the last part is Apex managed sharing. Apex managed sharing need a sharing reason that you have to create, as I said. Otherwise, Salesforce will manage it like an internal record, which you don't want, right? So if you go to that, it is already only available in Classic right now. If you go to the sharing rule creation is only available in Classic. So if you go to sharing rule, you can create sharing reason you can create only for the custom objects. Okay, so if you are having a custom object, which we have, right, that is, I think, something like Apollo we had, right? Yeah, this was the custom object we had. So here you will see something called Apex sharing reasons. Yeah, so you can create a new reason. You can say that coordinators, something like this. We talked about a situation, right? There is a field I created. So this can be your sharing reason. And then you can create a flow, or you can write a trigger and insert a record into your share objects. If you do that with this sharing reason, then what happens is that in this workbench, the row cause will become coordinator, and that record will be your insertion. That is the Apex Managed Sharing. I will send a trailhead for you to create Apex Managed Sharing using a flow and process builder. Go through that. Of course, writing through Apex Trigger is also something that is possible. So practice that. That is all about sharing today. Now ask me questions. So very important questions which I hear in interviews is that how do we how do we implement record level security? Many times I have heard the answers that roles, which is a wrong answer, as you understand. Role is used for sharing, not for security. Security is done using OWD, only OWD. There is nothing else. Record level security will be only implemented via OWD when the OWD is set to private or public read only. Then only you are securing the records. Otherwise not. Otherwise, owner and non-owner has the same level of permissions based on their profiles and permission sets. But if you want to bifurcate, the owner and non-owners should have different permissions, then OWD is the only choice. So security can only be done, record level security can only be implemented using OWD and nothing else. Then after OWD is set to a secure setting, then you can open up some records to some people if that is a requirement. What happens if I want to open up all records to some people? What should I use? Come on, started off the class with this. What is the mechanism of opening up all records to some people?
View all, modify all.
That's correct, absolutely. So profile and permission set. Yeah, that is my option. But if I have some records to some people, then what are the options I have? What are the top 5 options we talked today in detail? Could you give me the names?
So like there is manual sharing and like criteria based sharing.
Not criteria based sharing. Manual sharing is a technique. Team sharing is a technique. Sharing rule is a technique.
Is a technique. Okay.
Role hierarchy is a technique. And Apex Managed Sharing is a technique. Sharing, criteria based sharing is not a technique. Criteria based sharing is a type of sharing rule. Okay. Sharing rule are of 2 types: role ownership based sharing and criteria based sharing. But the technique is sharing rule. Okay. So 5 techniques we discussed today. There can be territory management also. There can be without sharing on Lightning components or Visual Code pages. So those are things which we did not discuss today. So top 5 is absolutely, you have to understand this. Manual sharing and team sharing is done by owners. Role hierarchy and sharing rules are set up by system admins. That means it should be your job. Yeah, so you have to be very clear on how to set up the role hierarchy, which is my first choice of sharing records. And then if I am not able to do that, then I will move on to sharing rule. Sharing rule would handle exceptional situation, which I am not able to cover using role hierarchy. And there is a dynamic sharing situation. In that case, I do not know whom to share. And it is owner who is selecting it at runtime. In that case, I will choose Apex Managed Sharing, not before that. All clear, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. Any questions so far? No questions? Then we will.
So
yeah. Go ahead.
yeah. So like suppose like we are having 3 levels A, B, C, and like the C level, a C level employee has a record, and like he doesn't want that like B level employee to see that record. Like only A level employee can see that record. So like how can that be?
Are you talking about role hierarchy?
Yeah, role hierarchy. Yeah.
No, you cannot. So managers in standard objects, if you are assigning a role to your owner, then the purpose of doing that is basically that their managers can see it. If you do not want their managers to see that, then you have to assign no role to that users, the owners. If owner does not have any role, then the role hierarchy will not work. But if the owner has a role, then role hierarchy will automatically work. if it is a
Mhm.
standard object. For custom object, you can choose whether the role hierarchy will work or not. That is that tick box I said, grand hierarchy.
Yeah.
So you can stop sharing of role hierarchy using that checkbox. But for standard objects, you cannot stop it. The only way to stop it is to take out the role from that owner.
Okay.
Anything else? Here, you can, in the role itself, you can go and say that if you want what different diverse forms of accesses you can give to people, like owner's access, case access can be a little different. That you can also choose. But yeah, but usually for any specific role, for specific records, whatever owner has, the same access the manager also has. We'll talk about queues in the next class. Public groups and queues are quite similar. The only difference in queues is that queues can own records. Public group cannot own records. Public group is a collection of users. Queues is also a collection of users. But queues are a collection of users who can own records. Instead of owner, the owners can be queues. Yeah, so this will be important for few supported objects. Some standard objects do support it, and all custom objects support it. You can add queue members here, and then you can say which this queue will be applicable for which objects, and they can own records. So it is not a specific person you are trying to give. This will be very handy for a group of users who are working on things. It will be called queues, and you will see this in case class, which is happening next. So we'll cover case, and in that case, in case, queues will be very important. Queues are quite similar to groups, same user groups, but they can own records. It's kind of a sharing, but a little different. Yeah, here the owners are multiple people. They can all see the records. Yeah. So this is another. This is not sharing, but this is a temporary storage where until that one person picks up and becomes owner. So that a group of users whom I have assigned it, and then one person picks up and becomes owner. Usually happens with case records. We'll discuss case in more details in the next class. Sharing is very exciting. We talked about security and then sharing now. Sharing is bypassing OWD for some people, some records. Yeah. So please remember that, practice it, and should be very easy for you to go through this session once again and understanding the concepts. If we do not have any further question, we'll stop. And
Sir, one question.
Yeah.
So when we are working in real-time scenarios, what kind of requirement we get from the managers or the clients when you are working on security, or what kind of real scenarios will be there?
So one is, of course, you might have to create some new profiles who have a different set of user access, the object accesses, and then record level security also. Some requirements will come. These departments record should be shown to this department. So wherein you will choose how that is handled. Can I handle using role hierarchy? If not, usually department to department would be through sharing rules. But if it is manager-based sharing, in that case, it will be role hierarchy. So you have to set up roles, and you assign users with those roles so that their records are automatically shared to their managers. But if department to department sharing is required, in that case, probably you will create a sharing rule. And so on. Very rarely you will come across situations where Apex managed sharing is required.
Okay, but sir, when we are working on the same portal, like same production org, because it will be also handled by the client will also be working on the same, it will impact means
You
same
can
time it will
first
impact
and
the,
foremost, you will never work on production. You will always work on a sandbox. Sandbox is basically a replica of your production. That is a test environment or development environment. Wherein
for
you
admin
create,
also.
yeah. All admins will first work in any of the sandboxes. You people will first work on a admin, sorry, in a sandbox. Create your sharing rules, create your all your changes, whatever you're doing, page layout changes, everything, whatever you are doing, and then basically test it thoroughly. And then you deploy that using a chain set into production. You will never work on production directly.
Okay. Okay, sir.
Yeah. So in Salesforce, sandbox is very crucial. All your development will happen in sandbox environments, not on production environments. In right now, what you are seeing in this demos are all development editions. Development edition don't support sandbox. That's why we are doing everything on production, but that will not happen in customer environment. Customer environment will have different licenses. Enterprise editions, unlimited editions will be there. In that case, they have multiple sandboxes to work. So you will be working on sandboxes. And sandbox, login to sandbox will be test.salesforce.com, not login.salesforce.com.
Okay.
And there can be different types of sandboxes also. Full copy sandbox is directly a replica of production with all data inside it. There can be partial copy wherein there is some data, not all data. There can be developer boxes. In that case, there is no data. It's just configurations are all there, similar to production, but there is no data from production. Ideally, this type of box is used by developers for development. And UAT is done on a full copy sandbox. And regression testing is usually done on a partial sandbox. Good question.
And sir, how many types of sandboxes will be there? They'll be different for developers and different for admins, right?
Developers and admins are no different in Salesforce world. It is system administrators only. So system administrator can be configuring, system administrator can be developing also. So there is no difference. So far Salesforce is concerned for developers or configurators. Everybody is system admin.
Okay, and sir, each time the sandboxes also have to get updated with the current data, whatever they have in the production side, right?
You have to refresh the sandbox in that case. But as I said,
Okay.
the refresh of sandbox is needed for data for full copy sandboxes only, and that can be done once in a month. And for partial copy, it can be, I think, 10 days. I don't remember that. Yeah, and a developer box, you can refresh every day. But it will only take your configuration and customizations, but it will not take your data. Developer environment is basically used by for development and configuration customization. Partial copy is used for regression testing and full copy is for UAT testing. Usually that is the method, but you can also do development on a full copy sandbox if you want. There is no stopping. But this is how it is used normally in organizations. Since full copy sandbox can be only one, right? That is why nobody misuses that. Partial copy, full copy can be only one. Developer sandbox can be multiple, many. Full copy sandbox, if you want to add more full copy sandboxes, you have to pay Salesforce more additional licenses to get more full copy sandboxes or partial copy sandboxes. Developer box can be multiple, so there is no problem on that. There is normally a lot of limit. There can be two different kinds of developer box. One is developer and another developer pro. Developer pro has a little more space. So far data is concerned, developer has very less space. That is the only difference. But developer pro can be lesser. Developer box can be many more. I hope you will get all this categorization in the trailheads. Go through that.
Sure, sir.
If you have any questions, ask me on this call. It is very important that you go forward with the trailhead and finish it off before getting into this call. Otherwise, I am not going to discuss everything which is there in the trailhead. Those are point and click. I am discussing only the crucial Salesforce concepts which you will not get on the trailhead. So it is very crucial that you keep on learning on trailhead and the point and click features that we are not going to cover here. Okay, guys, if you do not have further questions, we'll stop for the day. Have a nice weekend.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
Have
you.
a nice
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank
Right.
you.